In the grand scheme of things, this is really a small gripe, but as somebody who really does love the prospect of marketing campaigns for big films, especially big horror films, such as Scream 6, which actually did have a pretty big marketing push, I tend to let small details that bug me turn into even bigger details that really bug me. And in this instance, again, we're talking about Scream 6. Let me start this off by saying that I was both surprised and pleased to see that the powers that be actually had the balls to name this film Scream 6 versus Scream exclamation point, or Six Cream, or Scream and 2 exclamation points, or Scream and a subtitle. They actually just ran with Scream 6. Solid, bold, and to the point. And for the 5th sequel in a horror franchise, sometimes being bold and simple is all you need when it comes to a title. The only thing I wasn't a huge fan of was moving to Roman numerals versus the traditional numbering style. That kind of irks my OCD when I look at the series as a whole, but I'll be damned if that VI incorporated into the logo doesn't look absolutely fantastic. The VI becoming the right side of the M? Fantastic. Absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. So once I saw the way the logo was designed and the incorporation of the Roman numerals themselves, I was on board completely with the marketing campaign for this film. Again, simple, bold, to the point, and looked great stretched out on posters, billboards, what have you. Absolutely no clutter whatsoever. But then, after all the great commercials, the TV spots, the posters, the merchandise, and so on and so forth, it was finally time to see Scream 6 and view that epically bold logo on screen. I assumed Ghostface would probably rip through the screen with his knife, per usual, and the logo would simply be a white Scream logo, with the M morphing into the red VI, just as it had in pretty much all of the marketing content. But alas, what we actually got on screen, within the film itself, was not the marketing logo that we had gotten used to by this point. What we got was the Scream logo, with the Roman numerals appearing behind it, not the M morphing into the VI. And I will admit, it still looks cool in its own right, it still does the job and all that jazz, but it also feels and looks like a big missed opportunity, considering how strong the marketing logo is. So, why the change? Well, I think it boils down to a hefty combination of laziness and efficiency at the same time. Because while the movie was released all over the world, per usual, perhaps they simply ran out of time to animate that logo for every country, region, area, whatever. Because the marketing logo, while not an overly complicated animation, is still one that would take quite a while to render out, especially if you're doing it for places all over the world. But if you were to simply show the Scream logo and drop the number behind the logo and have nothing morphing into something else, that's a far more simple execution than the aforementioned M animation itself. I think that's probably why they went this route. With that said, I posted on my community feed last year, stating how awesome the Scream 6 logo could look if they went Scream 2 style and simply had the 6 behind the logo. And keep in mind, this was way before we saw the official logo released. But I mean, look at that. In its own throwback way, I love this design. And no, I am not the one who designed the logo you're looking at right now. So, going back to the way the logo actually looks on screen within the movie, I am left wondering why they didn't just put a traditional number behind the Scream logo if they were going to execute the logo in this way versus animating the M. It would keep in tradition with the other Scream movies, looks cooler, bolder, and if they were going to just throw the number behind the Scream logo anyway, they could have just went back to the actual numbering system.
This is what the Scream 6 title card looked like for the Latin American Spanish release of the film.
And it looks fantastic. Why they didn't do that here in the States? I don't know. I get the keeping in line with the marketing's Roman numeral aspect, but damn, look at how awesome this looks, especially when you put it next to the Roman numeral versions. You see what I mean? Anyways, I digress. Scream 6 was a lot of fun either way, and I'm just happy it wasn't called something other than Scream 6. Love you, babe. Now, get the fuck out of my face. Thank you so much for hanging out, and as always, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell to stay informed on all things TobattoVision. And if for some reason you just can't get enough of me and want more, check out my other YouTube channels as well, and feel free to hit me up on social media, where stuff really gets weird. I'll see you next time.